Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. And we're going to look closely at the chance of severe thunderstorms. I would call it evening and toward midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning. So I would call it overnight or so. So we do have some time before we have the possibility of any severe weather. And what it's all going to hinge on, I've discovered, is that where the storms will be initially formed in either northern Illinois, northern Iowa, or southern Wisconsin. If they form in northern Illinois, probably the brunt of the storms will move east, southeast, and just maybe graze the far southern border of Michigan. If they form 50 or 100 miles to the north in southern Wisconsin, then the southern third of Michigan probably gets into severe weather, and that kind of gives you an outline of where we're going with this. Right now, we do have dying thunder showers, and these are not severe. We did not really have any severe weather that I have been able to detect overnight. So dying showers, thunder showers in the western or eastern part of lower Michigan at the moment. Now looks like we just got our update on, let me try to get this so that we can see it. We just got our update on severe weather just a couple of minutes ago. So this is updated, and what they have done is they've looked at the models that I've been looking at and have shifted the areas slightly north and east. That orange area is an enhanced area of severe weather threat. Benton Harbor, maybe Battle Creek, south and west. And that was just touching Michigan, the very southwest corner of Michigan, just touching it in the earlier update. So it has shifted northeast, I would say maybe 25 to 50 miles. Same deal with the yellow. Now let's break it down into really what we're concerned about in this kind of pattern is a line of severe thunderstorms. And so really what we're concerned about is the black hatched area. That means the 10% chance of significant wind gusts over 75 miles an hour. And what you still see is that the Storm Prediction Center, who produces this type of forecast, Storm Prediction Center still thinks the storms start in eastern Iowa, move through northern Illinois, move across southern Lake Michigan into the very southwest corner. Now this is a little bit, again, of a movement toward the north and east. So everything has been shifted a little north and east, and then diminish as they move on to the east. And I'm going to show you a radar forecast that kind of goes along with that, but it also goes along with it a little bit farther to the north even yet. So they might just be inching toward what we know as a final solution. Now, let me get a good perspective for you here. So this is the current radar, and you can see thunderstorms over Minnesota. These will die out over the next couple of hours. That's what happens, and then new storms will initiate, and let's go to that. And we're going to have, since I've been watching this, we're going to have a couple of runs of the model that we like the best in this kind of severe weather situation. In most severe weather situations, this is called the high resolution rapid refresh model. And so what you see is the area of showers, thunder showers moving out of the thumb over the next couple of hours. Pretty dry, very quiet afternoon, 4 o'clock this afternoon, 5, 6, 7, starts to form the storms in eastern Iowa around 7 o'clock. So this is not your typical late afternoon, early evening, 4 to 7 p.m. severe weather outbreak in Michigan. This is a middle of the night, which does help us lower the chances sometimes. So this would be 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight, 11, midnight, 1 a.m. So this model is a little bit farther north with the northern edge of the intense thunderstorms, moving them into the southwest corner from Grand Rapids to South Haven to Benton Harbor to Kalamazoo around midnight, and then maybe moving it across the southern third of lower Michigan from Lansing southward 1 and 2 a.m. Now let's hit refresh here. That's the beauty of the high resolution rapid refresh, is we get it rapid refreshed. We get it every hour, and it will redo the initialization every hour. So we get a new look. And we always look at the trend on these, but sometimes these models make a jump as to where they initiate the storms. Now, we're only going to have 9 hours of this run, so it may not do us any good just yet. So that's 5 o'clock. And the good that it does is it says nothing has changed dramatically since the run before that. Okay, so what I want to show you is what I think is going to be the key on where the storms will initiate. And again, if they initiate in northern Illinois, DeKalb, Illinois, where I went to college, stuff like that, they'll move across far southern Lake Michigan, maybe just hit the very southwest corner of Michigan, very southwest corner, 1 or 2 counties. Be careful there. They can be potent. That is a very severe weather-laden part of Michigan. But if they do initiate up, say, around Madison, Wisconsin, or even probably not farther north of Madison, but if they initiate around Madison, then they may be making a beeline toward South Haven, Grand Haven, the Kalamazoo area, Battle Creek, something like that. Hey, good morning, folks. Good morning, Kathy Gilding and Mark Ambrosi. Good morning, and Sue Bramer. Sharon Fleenor, thanks for watching this morning. And Lisa Bird Johnson, good morning to you. So we're going to look at the CAPE, C-A-P-E, convective available potential energy. And what this is it's the dynamite, the fuel that storms could use if they get initiated. And so where the CAPE is high, that's typically where the storms will initiate, will start, or will be born. And you're going to see a very high CAPE in Iowa and northern Illinois, 5,000 joules per kilogram. I know it sounds like gibberish. It is, but it's very high CAPE and a very severe weather situation if the storms initiate. So here we go, and we go into 3 o'clock this afternoon, 4, 5, 6. So there you see the bright purple. Those are CAPEs of 5,000 joules, 6,000 joules, Iowa, Northwest Illinois. If that CAPE were to be shifted a little farther north, then we would see a different track. And now watch what happens. At midnight, the CAPE has come down, but for Michigan, it's still fairly strong in those southwest counties at midnight. It's still 3,000. A CAPE of 3,000 is usually pretty high in Michigan. And you can see as we go through the night, 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., how the CAPE comes down to less than severe levels for the most part. And so we should see a rapid weakening of storms from midnight to 3 a.m. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that, and then we'll see what's going to happen as we go through the week. Well, what's going to happen is a cold front will finally come through behind this, probably fairly silent because this will take the energy to the south tonight. We get some showers on Tuesday, some showers on Wednesday, and then we get a much drier, more comfortable, lower humidity pattern if you're not a heat and humidity fan. So this is Thursday morning, high pressure from Canada moving into Minnesota and Wisconsin. That's bringing the cooler air out of the north. Not a brisk north wind, but just a refreshing, wow, this is awesome type weather. And then, so we go to full sunny on Thursday and gorgeous. We go to Friday, light winds, full sunshine, still low humidity. We go into the weekend and still no weather systems to deal with, lower humidity, and comfortably warm temperatures in the low 80s. We go into next Tuesday and Wednesday and don't see any rainfall. And hey, we finally might get a chance in those places that have been wet to dry out. Hey, good morning, Dave Ebel. Hopefully you are doing well. You missed it. We were talking about storms, and I know you were a storm guy. So today, we're in the upper 80s and we're humid. Tomorrow, we're probably still in the upper 80s in the southeast. We're still probably in the upper 80s in the southeast, but dropping into the 70s from Cadillac and Houghton Lake northward. And then Wednesday, we're still a little warm around Detroit, Ann Arbor, but the cooler air is filtering in. We get some clouds, some instability showers in northern lower Michigan, but we're coming back down. So Wednesday, we'll probably start to feel, much drier. And then Thursday, it's settled in. Thursday, highs of about 72 to 75 degrees. Low humidity, full sunshine, light wind. That doesn't last long at this time of the year. When you have the full sunshine, it means the next day you're probably usually in the upper 70s. Friday, let's just start, paving the way for our bosses to know that Friday we might have, bigger things to do, like have fun. Our priorities might not be focused on work on Friday. So just, start to inch that into your boss's life, okay? Saturday, low 80s. Sunday, low 80s, upper 70s. Monday, low to mid 80s. Tuesday, maybe coming back to 85. And Wednesday, maybe back to the mid to upper 80s. So today, this afternoon and the evening, going to be very interesting because we have a lot of energy. That cape I showed you, very high. That means the surface is warm and very humid, and that's a light air. So if something comes in and nudges that air upward, the thunderstorms erupt. And where they erupt will mean the difference between maybe a pretty nasty 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m. in Michigan, or maybe just a real big lightning show as we look to the south into Indiana and northern Illinois. And also, I do believe that the instability wanes pretty quickly by 2 or 3 a.m., meaning that if the storms are severe in the southwest quarter of the state, they probably slowly weaken and run under the severe weather criteria by the time they get to Ann Arbor and Detroit. It'll be a wait and see, an interesting weather day. We'll keep you posted on MLive. Try to come up with some interesting stuff for you. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. Have a great Monday, and we will wait on the storms until late this evening. Not a typical late afternoon thing. Take care.